Since the launch of iPadOS 17, I've shared a video on the roundup of what I think are the best features of this update. Since that video, I've gotten lots of requests for how I've set up my iPad, the wallpapers I've used, and how I use focus modes. To start, I love the wallpapers that came with this update. In particular, the fun animated hello wallpapers, but I knew I wanted something a bit more minimal. So I screenshotted my current wallpaper to pull in some of those colors into my own wallpaper creations. I'm simply going to create them in Procreate. I'm going for a loopy abstract look because I knew I wanted to set up different wallpapers and home screens depending upon the focus mode that I'm in. So I created multiple variants of that wallpaper in different colors. If you like these wallpapers and want to use them for yourself, I'll link my wallpaper sign up below. You'll get them straight to your inbox along with other freebies that I've created and shared over time. Next, I wanted to start fresh. So I deleted all the widgets and moved all of my apps I have on one page. Throughout that process, I've also deleted apps that I don't use or don't like to reduce the clutter that I have on my iPad. And then adding back widgets that I plan on using. The shortcuts widget is important for this setup because I want to use the shortcuts widget as my method for switching between my different focus modes and wallpaper home screen setups. I'm going for a one-page home screen setup for each focus mode. So in the back of my mind, I am creating one page for just general workflows or general things I use my iPad for, another focus for entertainment, things for when I'm traveling, apps to watch movies or videos, and then my third focus mode is for when I want to use my iPad as another monitor or screen alongside my studio display. So I want to kind of set it up like a control center. So once the first page is set up to my liking, I'm starting with my second page, adding widgets and apps pertinent to that workflow. And then of course, for my last focus mode and workflow, the entertainment traveling one, I am setting up a third and final homepage with those widgets and apps that most directly relate to that focus mode. After all of my pages are created, I'm going to hide all of the pages except for my general use page, since this will be my main setup. Now, similar to my home screen pages, I am going to set up different lock screens for those focus mode workflows as well. Setting up one for my general use, the entertainment one, and the second monitor use case. I'm really harnessing iPadOS 17 with this by setting different widgets along the side and changing out the lock and home screen wallpapers. But you can take it further by customizing the date and time as well. After my lock screens are designed, I'm going into the settings to set the new focus modes for each of these workflows: general use, entertainment, and secondary monitor. And as with focus modes, you can customize the notification settings for people and apps. An important step for this to work is to set the home and lock screen pages that you want shown for the focus mode. So I'm taking that step for each of my focus modes. Now to set up my shortcuts to correspond to these focus modes. Head inside Shortcuts and you'll create a shortcut for each focus mode or workflow that you've created. So I just search the word focus and then choose Select Focus. Then I have it set to turn on the focus mode I created until I turn it off. Then you'll just repeat, so I created one for entertainment and my last one for monitor control. The last shortcut I created was to revert back to not using any focus modes, which will be my general use home screen. So I used the select focus action again, and set all of the focus modes to be turned off when I click on this shortcut. To categorize all of the shortcuts I created into that widget that's on my home screen, I created a folder within my Shortcuts app and added those most recently created shortcuts. And then I can change my widget by long pressing on the home screen to display that specific folder of shortcuts, and I need to do that across all of my home screen pages. And that's it. I can use my Shortcuts widget to easily jump between the different workflows I have set up for my iPad, and then I can also display the different wallpapers and lock screens with the power of iPadOS 17. I really value minimal and functional setups for my iPad. I've tried the custom cutesy widgets and quote and photo widgets, but I do feel like they take up quite a lot of valuable space on my iPad, especially now that widgets are interactive with iPadOS 17. So my setup is focused on minimalism and functionality. You could create some really cool setups if you love using the more decorative widgets that are out there. So that is my iPad setup. It's new for me, but it's working really well and I love it. I'll have my wallpapers that I created in this video linked below if you want to match with me, and I'll also link my iPadOS 17 features roundup video so you can dive into all of the best new features of iPadOS 17 aside from the customization that now comes with the lock and home screen. Until then, I will see you in my next video. Bye!